With me on set, I have Dr. Charles Apoki. Welcome, sir. A few of my followers called me and they said, it's been a long time you brought in Dr. Charles, on the studio. We want to hear from you. It's been a while. Today we have the privilege of having him here with us live. And we shall be looking at a very interesting subject matter. Now, in the recent time, if you look critically, you discover that there is a high rate of gravitation, towards sexual enhancement drugs, and this has taken the mindset and mentality of a lot of people. That you see women, both ladies and the guys, everybody is looking out for, mediums to enhance sexual performance or performances of their men. And this has taken a different dimension. If you go on pages of social media, even the herbalists, the companies, some pharmaceutical firms, and some traditional medicine practitioners, they now capitalize on it that every drug or every solution they create, they must attach that clause to it that, if you want an end to your 2 minutes problem, this is what you need. And sometimes we even see pictures of, genital organs of the man pasted there, say bye-bye to weak erection. And some will even post together with a picture of a woman with a big buttocks and big boobs. So it's trending everywhere. But the painful part of this whole thing is that, a whole lot of people queue up to buy these different kind of products without knowing the effects, the future effects. Now, this is what we shall be sharing our thoughts on today. Sir, this issue is a serious problem. So what's your take on this issue, sir?
It has remained an issue with humanity.
Okay.
Sex has remained an issue with humanity. If you go to temples and even buildings in Europe, in Greece, you will see statues displaying male organs, displaying breasts, displaying that. Sigmund Freud said that the primitive mind is geared towards sex and aggression.
Mm.
The primitive mind is always geared towards sex and aggression. And male sexuality starts from the womb.
Wow.
A male fetus gets an erection in the womb.
That's interesting.
If you have been married for long and you had male children, you discover that when you want to touch their mother, they must wake up.
Wow.
So you also have the electoral and oedipal complex. The electoral complex was when, in Greek mythology, when Electra killed the mother because of the father. And Oedipus killed the father to marry the mother.
Sure.
So you now find out that this sexual attraction is usually, and the emphasis on the genitals, a male child plays with his genitalia.
Sure.
It's part of the developmental process. So, but you see, when you become visionary, when you have a vision, delayed gratification comes in. If you look at Joseph and Reuben concentrated on his male organ and slept with the father's wife.
Sure.
Because he was restless, and all the benefits that were to accrue to him did not accrue to him because he was a restless person, and because he went into his father's bed and slept with his father's wife. So sexual inclination is natural, but when it possesses your mind, it's a sign that your mind is not visionary. It's not visionary. If you are thinking of contesting for Senate, and you are going to campaign, your opinions will not stand.
Sure.
Because when you know you are going to spend 100 million, you are going to campaign and you might not have energy. So it's a factor of the laziness of our mind. The average Nigerian mind as at today is not productive. It is an idle mind. And in a nation where recreational facilities are very few, you don't have parks to walk in, you don't have skiing places to ski, you don't have where to surf, you don't have parks to go to. The only entertainment that is immediately available and is cheap is alcohol and sex. alcohol, drugs, and sex.
Is sex really cheap?
Sex is cheap,
Okay.
but the outcome is expensive.
Okay.
You can sleep with a woman for 500 naira, even with a bottle of Coke and a barbecue fish.
Perhaps as in the olden days, not
Today,
not
hook-up girls.
today.
There are hook-up girls that are ready to sleep with you for 1,000 naira.
Wow, that's shocking.
There was a hotel that was closed down recently in Araba after Otobutu.
Yes.
People were sleeping with girls for 500 naira. So sex is very cheap. There are girls who will just admire you. As Dr. Apoki is, I don't do adultery. I've been married for 37 years. I've never kissed another woman.
Wow.
I don't do adultery. I know that sex is cheap. There are women who are ready to sleep with me, as old as I am. There are women who are ready to sleep with me, buy cars for me, take me overseas. I see them tempt me. So sex is cheap. But the consequences are very, very expensive. If I do that now, the whole of my career is gone.
It's gone.
So you now see that this emphasis on sex is as a result of an unproductive environment.
Okay.
It's an environment that people want to relax. There is no relaxation avenues to relax. So the only drive they have is sexual drive. And a lot of people realize that sex is at the base of the Maslow's pyramid. And sex trade has been one of the most lucrative trades in the world. So that's why it is there. And when somebody has no other values that he can be appreciated with, you can't appreciate me by the size of my bola. You are not interviewing me now by the size of my cassava or the size of my cucumber or the size of my bola.
Yes.
I get my orgasm not from my penis. I get my orgasm from my brain.
Wow.
I don't get orgasm from just sleeping with my wife alone. That is part of it. But I get intellectual orgasm because I indulge in intellectual intercourse.
Yes.
When I think, when I deliberate, when I produce results, and people appreciate them, and people call for me. People are calling for me from all over the world. So why would I start thinking about sex when I'm thinking about the next video to do? I'm thinking about the next lecture to give. So that is the thing.
So let's come to marriage now. Because we've heard cases of women crying out that their husbands are just 2 minutes men. There are cases like that everywhere. The woman will come to you that my husband is a 2-minute man and it doesn't take time for him to ejaculate. And this seems to see it as a very big problem. So it's increasing the anxiety.
Yes.
How does this affect
marriage? These things are being hyped.
Okay.
There are people who benefit from the sex trade. There are people who benefit from the marketing of sex-enhancing drugs like Viagra, whatever. But you see, when they hype these things, how many men go 30 minutes? You go 30 minutes. Sex is not the factor of the length.
Okay.
It's not the pounding. It's not the knocking. It's not the ta-ta-ta. Sex is first emotional.
Okay.
You must first build the emotions of each other.
Okay.
Then sex is not necessarily when you put your penis inside the genitalia.
Really?
Yes.
That's shocking.
You can start stimulating the woman without putting your penis inside.
Sure.
So you can take a woman to orgasm without penetrating her.
Of course.
If you know the sensitive areas to touch.
Yes.
If you know what to do.
Yeah.
If you know what to say.
Yes.
You can start stimulating a woman from her scalp to the sole of her feet.
Sure.
You can start stimulating a woman, even a phone call to your wife while she's walking. So sex is not the it's not the banging. It is a process, it is a dance. It is you stimulate a woman until she reaches a peak, then she crashes. But for a man, the man can go quick and ejaculate because man was created to populate. That's why men do not see their periods. Excuse me. Men were just created to populate.
Okay.
So it requires discipline. Now, most men who are 2-minute men also have stupid women.
Wow.
When a man has to labor before the Bermuda Triangle is open, when he enters Listen, if you have been taking planes before, if you have been entering aeroplane before, do you do self inside plane?
No.
It's when you have not entered a plane before, you would start taking pictures in the airport. If a woman allows the airport to be open as frequently as possible for her husband, you see, spermatogenesis takes about 72 hours. So if the woman allows the airport to be open frequently, and the man is going to Jerusalem by flight frequently and frequently, the rate of ejaculation will reduce. Number two, if a man is confident that this mountain, I will climb it anytime and fellowship in the mountain and come back with tablets of commandment, the man is more relaxed. Why men ejaculate is tension.
What tension? I don't understand. You meeting with your wife and
no, there is a lot of tension. Women are very, very smart. Some of them are stupid too. Some of them will wear up. Some women wear knicker to bed. So they go there, and the man has to unravel so many miracles and puzzles, and then there are stupid negotiations that come at that time. What of my mommy going back home? We have not bought things for her. What of that car you said you will buy? Any agreement the man goes into under that condition is null and void because it was obtained under duress. So you see, the man, if the man is relaxed with his wife and they understand each other,